my new glasses. Here, okay. Right. Hello, everyone. What y'all up to today? It's kind of dark. Hope you guys can see me. And most importantly, I hope you guys can hear me. Let me see who's in the chat. Who are the early birds today? Who do we have here? Rockin' the chat. We have Water Bear and Dave Cavity. Hello, you guys. How are you guys doing? Is the weather good where you're at, Water Bear? Dave, are you doing good today? Look and sound good. Okay, awesome. Thank you. So thumbs up. I look okay. It's not too dark. It doesn't look like I'm filming from a dungeon. We're spooky. We got Rob Smiley in the house. Hello, Rob. We got Modern Air. Hello. Yes, you're a Cancer man. Awesome. That's so cool. Modern Air, do you come here to learn more about Scorpios? Next week, Modern Air, I am actually going to go live and I'll be discussing something. It'll be a surprise. It's going to be all about Cancer. So I have actually Cancers and Pisces lined up, and of course Scorpios next week. So it's pretty much going to be water sign week next week, but I'm going to just let it be a surprise. And yeah, so I'm so glad you guys are here. We got Rob, Modern Air. All right, so you know what? We are going to kind of unravel. Sorry, you guys. I've got some cords that are trying to invade my space, and I can't have that happening right now. So, yeah, we're going to unravel why it seems to be such a big issue with other signs that they just seem to have a hard time understanding or reading a Scorpio. Okay, it's just seems to plague a lot of different zodiac signs out there. They just seem stumped, like, oh my gosh, like I don't know what's going on with my Scorpio man, but I can't read him. I can't tell what's going on with him. Like he's showing me no emotions whatsoever. And you know what? I can totally understand, you guys. I have done that, and I know other Scorpios that have done that. I know why they do it. That is why we're going to uncover why they are so hard to read. And I hope you guys will help chime in, and we can learn from each other. And just figure this out together. We've got Forever in the house. Hello. We have Joy. Hi, Joy. Is this your first time here, Joy? Hello, hello. Yeah, you guys are rocking the chat. I appreciate you guys being here so much. We got Rob Smiley. Some books are forbidden to read. All right, you guys. I don't know if I've seen Joy before, but you know what? I just want to welcome you if this is your first time here. This is a really loving environment, and yeah, so let's learn from each other. That's a big thing for me, you guys. I love learning from others, and I hope you guys have an open mind when you come to this platform, an open heart and an open mind. And you know what? If your mind isn't open, then it would be hard for someone to come along and drop something really valuable into your mind, something that you could totally miss. So let's open up the minds and open up the hearts, and let's just be kind to each other. And you know what, before I jump into this, I just want to let you guys know that if you guys are interested in learning more about your zodiac sign, or you're here to learn more about Scorpios, I highly encourage you guys to go and click on my channel. Look across the top. It will say video, shorts, playlists, live. Click on the playlist and you will see a playlist for pretty much every zodiac sign. You just click on that playlist. I have 2 long separate playlists that go deep into Scorpios. Of course, I have lots of live stream videos that go back to the beginning of my channel. Oh, pretty much to the beginning of my channel. And so I have a variety. Anyways, I'm so excited to get into this because there has just been so many questions surrounding, you know, Scorpios. Like, what in the world? Why are they so difficult to understand? I mean, I can't get a reading on my Scorpio man or my Scorpio woman. That's probably the biggest question I get, you know. And the other question I get is, why in the world do they disappear? And then they come back like nothing happened. And you guys chime in with me and let me know. Help the others out there understand why you're so difficult to read, or why you might become poker face. So let's see here. No, I always get your playback. Oh, Joy, you always get my playback. Well, I'm so glad you made it live. Yay. I'm so thrilled you're here. Rob Smiley, very loving. We keep it high vibrational. Exactly. We are the high vibrational Scorpios and water signs here. We're high vibrational, all zodiac signs here. No matter what zodiac sign you are, we're going to be vibrating really high. Okay. Modern era. An open mind can open a closed, forbidden book. I agree. It's all about love. Exactly. Yeah. Awesome. Muse. Hello, Muse. Yay. We got Muse in the house. Hello, hello. Scorpio here. Hello, all. Yeah, you're Scorpio. Yes. I love my Scorpios. I'm Smiley. Variety is a seasoning of life. Exactly. Yeah. Can you imagine how boring it would be if everyone was a Scorpio? I mean, oh my gosh. And they would just be nothing but chaos if it was just all Scorpios, because Scorpios would have nothing left to do but to fight with each other. And oh my gosh, you cannot control a Scorpio. So can you imagine 2, 3, 4 Scorpios trying to control each other? It ain't gonna work. You know, there can only be one chief in a tribe. So yeah, it wouldn't work if it would just be so boring and chaotic if it was just all Scorpios. Anyways, we have, oh yeah, Stacy, that's right. Yeah, Dave, thank you for reminding me. Muse, your name is Stacy. I got to remember that, you guys. If I don't remember your name, please forgive me. I'm starting to get more and more new people, and it does get a little more difficult for me to remember your actual names, or the names that you would like me to call you. And if you do prefer for me to call you like a certain name, please just let me know in the chat box. And you know what? I don't mind if you have to remind me 10 times. If that's how long it takes for me to remember your name, I will do it. I have no problem. Sometimes it does take 10 times for it to stick. Okay. But you guys are all awesome. And you know what? I'm going to ask that you do me a favor and leave all of your questions until the end. And when you do have a question, please put them in all caps. I really appreciate it. It does help me see them a lot easier and a lot faster in the chat. Sometimes the chat does get going pretty fast, and then I have to scroll way up and then try to scan for questions. And if it's in caps, then it stands out so much better for me, you know. So yeah. You can see I'm wearing glasses, you guys. I need all the help I can get. Okay. Yeah, Muse, I thought that you wanted me to call you Stacy, but am I mistaken? Yeah, Rob, I get your name right. I mean, it's in your, yeah, Rob Smiley. How could I get that wrong? That's just, you make it easy for me. Thank you so much. Modern Air says, you can use my actual name, Gary. Oh, okay. Okay, so Modern Air, Gary. Just keep you know, I don't mind if you send me friendly reminders. You can say Modern Air / Gary, like when you show up in chats, that way it will stick. So Gary, thank you for that. I appreciate that. You've been meaning to change your member name. Okay, awesome. I appreciate that. Yeah, I'd much rather call you guys by a name that you really want to be called. And it does make it easier for me to be more personable with you guys. Yeah, Stacy. Okay, so Muse equals Stacy. Yes. And Dave, actually, thank you. You have a great memory too. Yeah. It does help if you do have your channel name our channel username as your actual name. It does help a little bit, especially when I'm really trying hard to remember you guys. So anyways, you know what? I have kept you guys waiting long enough and I don't want to go off on a tangent. But let's go ahead and dive into this. And please, you guys remember to keep your questions for the end. All right. So have you ever noticed that trying to understand a Scorpio is a little bit like trying to read a secret book that was written in invisible ink, then buried underground, locked inside a vault, and then guarded by a dragon that only comes out like every third Tuesday? Now, to be honest, this is why so many people totally misunderstand and misrepresent Scorpio. People constantly seem to ask me, why are Scorpios so difficult to read? Okay, here's the cold hard truth. Scorpio was never designed by the heavens to be easily read. So check this out. In ancient esoteric astrology, Scorpio was associated with the hidden temples, the underworld, mysteries, and the sacred initiations of death and rebirth. You see, the ancient Babylonians connected Scorpio with the gates of transformation, while the Egyptians linked the scorpion to protection and to danger and hidden powers. Scorpio energy was never meant to stand in the middle of the room, waving his arms, saying, oh my gosh, look at me, here is all my feelings. Heck no, that is not how they are, okay? Scorpio sits quietly in the corner collecting information like a spiritual FBI agent, okay? I kid you not, that's how they are. And it seems that people often think Scorpio is just so cold-hearted, but Scorpio is not cold. Scorpio is very cautious. Now, imagine, if you will, someone walking into your house and immediately asking for your social security number, your diary, your bank password, and your deepest childhood wounds. Now, most people would literally run away. Am I right? You see, my dragon pups, Scorpio feels that way emotionally. They guard their emotions because emotions to Scorpios are sacred currency. Now, you need to understand that they don't hand out access cards to their inner world easily. No way. Honestly, a Scorpio can spend 6 months asking you questions while answering almost none of your questions. They can know your favorite food. They can know your relationship history, all your fears, and the name of your third grade teacher, while you still don't know what they ate for lunch, and you don't know their last name. Okay, my dragon kittens, to gain a better understanding of Scorpio, we must take a look at their ruling planets. Just for a moment. Okay, so get this. And the ancient ruler of Scorpio was Mars, okay? But before Pluto was discovered, Mars actually ruled Scorpio. So in modern astrology, well, they gave Scorpio Pluto, but traditionally astrology gave Scorpio Mars. Mars in Aries charges into battle screaming, here I am. And you know what? Your lights are about to be put out right now. But Mars in Scorpio sneaks into the battlefield at midnight, studies the enemy, cuts the ropes on the drawbridge, and leaves before anyone realizes what happened. It's just the way they are. You see, Scorpio energy is very strategic and calculating, and their emotions move underground, behind the scenes. Scorpio's in-game moves are always undetected. They don't process feelings on the surface where everyone can easily see them. They just don't do that. No way, Jose. What they do, in most cases, is process their feelings in caves. So this is why Scorpios disappear. People may question this behavior, and a lot of people do, and say something like this. Why does Scorpio vanish for like 3 days and then come back acting like nothing happened? Well, the transparent truth is this. Because the Scorpio's mind, okay, in their mind, They weren't ignoring you. They were just entering their emotional laboratory. You see, Scorpios disappear to think, to heal, to recharge, to investigate, and process their emotions. And sometimes dramatically stare out a window while listening to songs from like 15 years ago. They retreat into their underground bunker. So to Scorpio, disappearing feels normal to them. To everyone else, it oftentimes feels like they have been like abandoned by a government witness protection program. In other words, a Scorpio can literally vanish on Tuesday, answer 0 texts on Wednesday, avoid all calls on Thursday, return to you on Friday afternoon and say to you, hey, what are we having for dinner? Meanwhile, you may have already contacted the police, filed a missing persons report on them, and called 3 psychics and consulted an astrologer. You know what? Scorpio honestly does not understand why everyone is so upset with them all the time. They simply needed solitude. I do know this, that one of the greatest mysteries about Scorpio is why and how they can become emotionally cold, like ice cold. Now, the brutal, undiluted truth here is that Scorpio loves very deeply, but when trust has been broken, something changes inside of them, like literally changes inside of them. And those changes are not in the other person's best interest. It's like a switch literally has been turned off inside of them. Now, let's take a look at what ancient astrologers say about Scorpio's traits and these particular traits. So did you know that ancient esoteric astrologers associated Scorpio with death and rebirth because Scorpio's energy understands endings better than any other sign out there? So that means that when a Scorpio feels betrayed, or they feel disappointed or wronged or emotionally unsafe, they may shut the door completely. And most of the time, they won't ever go back once that door is shut. This decision is not always about getting revenge, you guys. Sometimes it is about surviving, emotionally speaking. You see, Scorpio protects the heart by freezing access to it. So just imagine for a minute that a Scorpio is likened to a bank vault. Now, when that vault is open, they are loving and loyal, protective, and very affectionate and deeply devoted. But if that alarm system goes off, those giant steel doors slam shut. The lights go out. The guards come out. The moat fills with crocodiles. The drawbridge will rise. And the person outside is left standing there saying, to themselves, mind you, wait a minute, just wait a second here. What did I miss? What just happened? And Scorpio will almost always not say one word. They remain silent because they feel actions speak so much louder than an explanation. And you know what? I almost always see that people are especially shocked when Scorpio walks away from a relationship without warning and without closure. And it happens a lot. But the truth is that Scorpio often gives warnings that nobody notices. And if you aren't paying attention to Scorpios, you will miss the warning signs, like completely. Usually Scorpio's warning signs are silent, and they will emotionally distance themselves from those who they are about to leave. Their conversations become much shorter and curt, meaning there will be no emotion in their conversations or their tone of voice. They will also engage in less eye contact, or they try to reduce their vulnerability. Okay, this next warning is a big one because it means that Scorpio is about to leave you. And so expect that Scorpio will not always argue with you before leaving, because you know what? Arguing means they still care enough to fight with you. So in other words, when Scorpio becomes quiet, that is sometimes a storm warning. It is like seeing sharks leave the water before a hurricane moves in. and utterly destroys everything. So check this out. In ancient esoteric teachings, Scorpio represented the eagle, the serpent, and the phoenix. The lower vibrating Scorpio is the scorpion that stings often. The middle Scorpio is the serpent that sheds its skin. Now, the evolved Scorpio becomes a phoenix that rises from ashes. This is why Scorpios can leave relationships and never look back. They understand transformation on a much better level than any other sign. Now, once something dies emotionally inside of them, they often accept that death and they just move forward. Usually other signs revisit old relationships, but Scorpios most oftentimes cremate the emotional attachment, scatter the ashes abroad, write a poem about it, and start rebuilding their life brick by brick. Of course, let's not be ignorant. Every Scorpio is different, of course, from other Scorpios, but many of them experience emotions with enormous intensity. And I'm not even joking here. The irony is that the sign most accused of being cold-hearted may actually feel more deeply than almost anyone else. They simply hide it better than all the other zodiac signs. Now, a Scorpio can look completely calm while internally experiencing enough emotions to power an entire city. And okay, I'm just dropping truth bombs with you. And you shouldn't ignore any of that. So if you have ever loved a Scorpio, just remember this. Their silence is not always about hatred. Their disappearance is not always about rejection. Their emotional walls are not always about being cold-hearted. The truth is, Scorpio lives underground, emotionally speaking. They process life in darkness before returning to the surface. They are the sign of transformation. They're the sign of mystery and emotional survival. So understanding Scorpio means accepting that not every door opens immediately with them. Not every feeling is spoken out loud. And sometimes the deepest emotions are the ones hidden beneath the surface. And if your Scorpio disappears for like 3 days and then comes back asking if you want pizza, well, congratulations. You survived another episode of keeping up with the Scorpio. And yes, sometimes they actually do disappear for a few days just to emerge and act like nothing has happened. But don't ignore those warning signs unless you want to be left in the dust without seeing the sandstorm coming, okay? Now, if I miss something, please don't be shy. Let me know in the chat. I do read every comment, and if you have questions, please go ahead and put them in all caps because it does help me out. It helps me notice them a lot faster. Now, let's see who is rocking the chat again. I want to see if I've got some questions out there because I know you guys, you've got to have some questions. And if I don't get the questions during the live, then I usually get them in my emails. So but it actually does help people, like if you have questions now, and if we have other zodiac signs coming in and reading the chat, then they can learn. So was I on point? I'm talking to my Scorpio fam out there. Was I on point about that? And to all the other zodiac signs, you guys are my family too. Have you experienced those sorts of things with a Scorpio lover or husband or boyfriend or just somebody you're dating? I'd really like to know. You guys don't be shy with me. Let's see here. Now I'm going to scroll up and see if there's any question. We got love bugs in the house. Hello, love bugs. Okay, Dave Cavity, thank you so much for the chat, for the it looks like a super thanks. A super thanks. Thank you so much. You are awesome. That just makes my day, Dave. Thank you so much. You rock. I appreciate your support so much. You've been so consistent. I appreciate that. Let's see here. Rob Stanley says he has a photographic memory. Modern Air says, yes, I have not ran away. It takes, I think, a kind of matching energy or something that can handle their hurricanes or tornadoes or storms to enjoy their peace. Modern Air, yeah, or Gary, I'm sorry, Gary. I want to call you Gary. I'm going to get in the habit of saying Gary. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. Forever. Dave, you are so kind. Okay, so let me see her. Okay, I see you guys are talking amongst each other. Okay. How are you doing, love bugs? I'm doing good. We've had some storms, but no, I see the sun's coming out. You see the sun? I felt like I was like recording this from a dungeon, but now we've got the sun coming back out. We've had back-to-back storms here. I don't mind the rain. Rob Smiley says the light workers attract demonic forces. They can. I mean, but you don't have to accept those demonic forces. That's all you have to say is, what if something does nefarious attack you, all you have to say is, I don't accept this. And that's it. You know, you are the commander in chief of your reality, period. You don't need to say a special name. All you have to say is, I don't accept this. You're not part of my reality. I don't accept what you say. I don't accept what you do. I don't accept it. You just, you know, you are the commander in chief. You have the power over all demonic forces. Period. Forever. Okay, Dave. Okay, so I'm not seeing any questions. Emotional defense systems activated by Rob Smiley. Yes. Scorpio Mama. Hello, Scorpio Mama. How are you doing today, Scorpio Mama? Are you just chilling out at home? I'm not used to this kind of storm. Whoa. Okay. Did I miss something up here? Okay. Rob Smiley, emotional defense. Let's see, forever. All right. I'm trying to just look for. Yeah, Scorpio Mama, I'm so glad you stop in. Scorpio Mama says, I might have to run. I don't be on phone and store. Oh, okay, I see. Well, that's fine. Thank you for stopping in, Scorpio Mama. Scorpio Mama, are you saying that you don't like to be complimented? Is it really hard for you to accept a compliment? I do know that I know for me, for most of my life, it was always really hard for me to accept compliments. I actually didn't like them because I felt like it was manipulation. I felt like it was more flattery. If a woman compliments me, I accept that a lot more readily than if a man does, because women don't give out compliments easy. Seriously, women are just not going to compliment just a compliment. More often times than not. Men usually compliment because they're trying to get something from you, and you guys all know what that might be. So we're not stupid here. None of us are stupid. Oh, you're on vacation, Scorpio Mama. Awesome. Where are you at? Are you like are you in a different country or something like that? Well, enjoy your vacation, Scorpio Mama. Yeah, I hear you, Scorpio Mama. Folks lie too much. And yeah, seriously. And if they're lying to you like that, then it's usually because they want something from you. Yeah. All right, I don't see any questions. Okay, so I think I've got caught up on the chat here. So I'm just going to go ahead now and I'm going to do you guys all a favor. And I actually wrote these out myself. It took me a little bit of time last night, but I sat with myself and I was like thinking and asking myself, like, if I disappear or I become hard to read or I emotionally distance myself, what could the other person who's in my life do or say to get back into good grace with me without pushing me further away? Because there's a right way and a wrong way to engage with a Scorpio who is already pulling back their energies and who is emotionally distancing themselves from you. And they're getting to that point where they just want to leave the relationship completely and close the door, seal it shut, and never look back. So there is some things that you can say. Okay. So I did take some time and put myself, of course, in the Scorpio shoes, which is not hard to do since I have a ton of Scorpio energy running through me. Let's see here. So I'm going to just read to you what I wrote out. This is my little notes that I keep on my other phone. So if a Scorpio does become quiet or disappears, the biggest mistake is usually chasing them. That's a big no-no, you guys. Don't chase a Scorpio. Don't demand answers from them, okay? And just don't assume the worst. Now, while it is true that every person is completely different, okay? And it is also true that astrology can't predict an individual's behavior. Many people who identify with Scorpio stereotypes say that, like, they appreciate honesty and they appreciate emotional maturity and they respect space. Okay, so here's one of the things I wrote out that I would suggest you do. This is something that I would want someone to do to me if I was emotionally pulling back and getting ready to leave a relationship, okay, where I'm just getting to that point where enough is enough, I'm done. I haven't got there yet, but I'm in the midst of getting there, okay? I'm closing the door. So remember, first thing first, stay calm and stay understanding, okay? Say something like this. This is what I would want someone to say to me. Say something like, hey, I noticed you've been a little quiet lately. I just wanted to check in and make sure you're okay. Okay, so you're just keeping it calm and casual, but you're being genuine. No pressure to respond to me right away. I am here whenever you are ready. And just leave it at that, okay? Don't add anything else to it. Don't say anything like, don't say this. Don't say, oh my gosh, like I've been texting you like 10 times and like, why in the heck aren't you responding back? Like, don't do that. Don't demand answers. Don't get emotionally chaotic and out of control. Scorpios need you to remain calm and balanced. Scorpios are already dealing with enough of emotional chaos within themselves. And just because you can't see it on the surface doesn't mean it's not going on below the surface. And that's what so many people totally get wrong. Okay, so, and I'm going to tell you why this works, why that particular message will work, because it really does show Scorpios that you are concerned about their well-being. You're concerned enough to reach out. Hi, Lancelot. I just saw you in the chat. Hello. Okay, so it also, that sort of approach also doesn't put any pressure on them, okay? It doesn't make them feel like they're being cornered. You don't want to make a Scorpio feel like they're being cornered and pressurized. Okay, we don't want to be putting Scorpios in a crock pot, okay? We want to put stews and roast beef in a crock pot. We don't want to be putting Scorpios in a crock pot and pressurizing them. Okay, so here's a second thing, okay? I want you to just, like, when you're conversating or texting or whatever with a Scorpio, I want you just to be honest, okay? Be honest, but remain confident. Don't lower your standards. Don't lower your boundaries, okay? Just remain honest and confident when you're talking to a Scorpio. Just say something like this. I enjoy like talking with you, but I also respect your space. And just know the door is open whenever you feel like reconnecting with me. Okay. And just leave it at that. Okay. Don't be demanding answers. Don't be saying, I need to hear from you like right now. Don't give them ultimatums. Don't do any of that nonsense, because literally you will push them out that door faster. Okay. And if you want your Scorpio man or woman to stay, don't pressurize them. Now, why that particular reply or response works best is because like Scorpios are often associated with respecting people who have healthy boundaries and confidence rather than people that are desperate, okay, or give the energies of desperation. Scorpios don't like that, and they're not going to respect anybody who comes off as desperate and needy and all that sort of thing. They can't respect you, and they'll just ignore you. Okay. Now here's another way that you can communicate with a Scorpio. And in this case, you can be direct, but be emotionally safe at the same time. Okay. So say something like this. Now, if something's bothering you or you just need time to yourself, I completely understand that. I'd rather have honesty than guess what's going on with you. And just leave it at that, okay? Again, you're not cornering Scorpio. You're not pressurizing them. You're not demanding answers, okay? Don't do those things. Now, why that works is because it invites openness without forcing a conversation. Now, here's some things not to say. I wrote these down too because, oh my goodness, I've heard these from people, not just like partners, but I've heard these things from like even family members, okay, who are like demanding, like, why aren't you talking to me? La, 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 la. Okay, so this is something you should not say to a Scorpio if you want to get back into good graces with them. Don't say this. Why are you ignoring me? Don't say that. Don't say, answer me now, dang it. And definitely don't say this one. Oh, I guess you don't care about me anymore. Don't do that, you guys. Oh my gosh, that just gives Scorpio the big time icks and will push them away and look at you in a completely different light. Okay, they can't respect that. That is just so cringe. My mom has said those things to me when I've gone quiet, when I pulled back and gone emotionally quiet and I've divorced her. She's like, oh my gosh, you guys, you don't care about me anymore. And it just is like, ooh, it makes my soul literally want to bury itself deep inside. I mean, it makes my soul want to just run to another galaxy and dimension, just like, yeah, it's cringe, you guys. I'm just saying. And don't say this to a Scorpio. This is another one that I've heard. Well, if you don't reply now, we're done. Don't say that, okay? Do not say that to a Scorpio. That is even more cringe than saying like, oh my gosh, I guess you don't care about me anymore since I haven't heard from you. Those things are so nasty and icky. Like, oh, please get a grip on yourself before talking to a Scorpio, okay? If you can't come to a Scorpio in a calm, balanced manner, don't bother at all, because silence is better than pushing their buttons and pushing them away further, okay? They already don't think very highly of you anymore. That's why their door is closing on you. That's why they're about ready to leave the relationship, is because you've already disgusted them, okay? You've already cringed them out. You've already icked them out, okay? You've already wronged them so much so that they're just like, oh, this is not worth it. And even if they love you, they can still be icked out by your behavior and your out of control emotions. You see, for many Scorpios, actions do speak much louder than words. And you have to remember to give Scorpios plenty of breathing space, okay? You need to give them plenty of room. And if you're married to a Scorpio and things are starting to go down south and down the hill, make him a man cave. Let him go hibernate in his man cave so he can process his emotions without you like being a helicopter wife, okay, all the time. Or helicopter girlfriend or whatever, okay? The key here is, I have to say, is just balancing warmth with self-respect when conversating or communicating with Scorpios, okay? You need to also maintain your self-respect, and never, don't embellish the truth. Don't read more into it than what is really there, okay? Yeah, you can definitely reach out to a Scorpio. It's not going to bother them that you're reaching out, especially when it's done genuinely and in love, and you're doing it out of concern, like genuine concern. A Scorpio can sniff out bullshit and lies 10 miles away before it even lands in their lap. They know when you're being genuine. So no fakery, you guys. No fakery with Scorpios. Because for them, it will be a no-go for Scorpio if you're fake. Just saying, you guys. I'm going to be real. I'm going to keep it real with you guys always. When I say it, when I'm talking about all these things, I'm talking about the things that I am and how I behave towards people. Like, seriously, if I'm emotionally pulling back on you and I'm going very quiet and there's less emotion in my voice, I don't want to argue, that sort of thing, that means like I'm ready just to exit the relationship. I'm not going to give you any more of my precious energies when I'm not getting back what I need. You know what I'm saying? And if you've wronged me, you betrayed me, or that sort of thing, yeah, the emotional door is closed fast and furious. Like I'm sealing it with sealant, you know, and like not even an army could get through my doors once they're sealed. You know, no bomb in the world will be able to like blow up my doors. So we got Farminator in the house. Yeah, hello, Farminator. You can sniff out BS like a hound dog. Exactly. Exactly. You said it better than me. You want to come here and help me? Gary says it's really a learning process. You just have to learn the good with the bad of it in real time through a few bad and great times. The relationship, I've realized, needs time. Yeah, definitely. Exactly. And you know what? It does take Scorpios, especially Scorpio women, quite a long time to actually love somebody. And I'm not talking about falling in love, because that's a completely different subject. Something you guys probably don't even know what's going on. You're not aware of what that actually means to fall in love. It's not a good thing to fall in love, you guys. But for Scorpio to actually truly 100% love you, which is, you know, and have compassion for you and care about you, it takes a long time. So if you're not a patient zodiac sign, or you're not a patient person, period, then you might want to rethink trying to create a relationship with a Scorpio, because a relationship with a Scorpio needs time. Because you know what? You have to prove that you are trustworthy, and that takes time. It takes lots of time to prove that you are a trustworthy person. They're not just gonna hand you over their trust on a gold platter and say, here, I totally trust you, even though I don't know your first name, but here. Heck no, they don't blindly trust. And it would be so unwise for anybody, no matter what zodiac sign you are, to just blindly trust somebody that you don't even know, okay? So yeah, let me scroll back up. I want to make sure I didn't miss any questions or important. So someone says, Rob Swank says, personal space is a real thing. Yes, it is. Yes, I agree. Okay, let's see here. Scorpio mama is clapping. I don't see any other questions. So Stacy says emotionally independent is what I'm attracted to because we embody it. Yeah, exactly. Yes. Yeah. Exactly. So I'm going to ask you this, Stacy, because this is how Cancer signs are. Cancer signs are emotionally, I say more emotionally dependent on people. They're very clingy to the ones they love. And yes, Cancer signs are very, very emotional. I know that very well. But I think that like a Cancer and Scorpio together, I think that they both truly love each other and truly emotionally trust each other and feel safe with each other. Then the Scorpio is very clingy too. And this is what I have endured, discovered with Scorpio men in my life, or men that have dominant Scorpio energy. They want to spend as much time with the person they love as possible. And I definitely know that Scorpio men can be smothering. And I'm not talking about Cancer men, I'm talking about Scorpio men. The Scorpio men, when they love a woman, they are very affectionate, they're very devoted, they're very attentive, and they actually can be clingy, honestly. I've experienced this with Scorpio men, with me. Okay, not with I haven't. Well, actually, no. My baby sister is married to a Scorpio man, and they would spend all their time together. Even though he had his own friends and she had her friends, they always did everything together. Like all the friends, like on both sides, they'd always do everything together. For the most part, at least for most of their marriage and everything. But yeah. Anyways, so I have no idea where I was going with that, but I'm just wondering. My question was to Gary, or not to Gary, to Stacy, is how would you feel in a hypothetical situation with a Cancer woman, Cancer lover, or whatever, if they really seem to be emotionally needy of you and like clingy in a physical way, and also in an emotional way, because Cancer signs are also very, very emotional, very, very emotional. And Cancers actually do love very deeply too. I wouldn't say they love as deeply as a Scorpio does, but they love very deeply for sure. Like they love deeply on a different kind of way, is what I'm saying. It's a different kind of deep love. Let's see here. I'm just wondering if that would be too much for a Scorpio man. I mean, Cancers are very lovey-dovey. Like, if a Cancer loves you, if a Cancer woman or Cancer man loves you, they're very devoted, very loyal, very affectionate, very attentive, very, they get their crab claws into you. Anyways, enough of that. So they get their crab claws into you and they won't let go. Okay, I don't see question. Oh, is there a question above? Okay, did I miss a question? Because Scorpio says question. Okay, so Scorpio Mama, are you going to ask me a question? Or did I miss a question? So Rob Smiley says, I must retreat to the Bat Cave. All right, Rob Smiley, you're retreating to the Bat Cave. Yeah. Thank you for coming here and gracing us with your presence. I always love it when you're here. So Rob Smiley says, clingy doesn't work for me. Okay, so Rob Smiley, that's why you do better with fire signs like Aries and Leo. Because Aries doesn't need you to be clingy. They like someone who's emotionally independent or independent. Yeah, so I can see Rob Smiley, you doing really well with like an Aries for sure. Let's see here. Well, have fun in your bat cave, Rob Smiley. That sounds like fun. Let's see here. Dave Cavity, Modern Air had a question. Oh, okay. So Modern Air had a question. Okay. So Gary had a question. Okay, so I need to go up here. Okay, so Gary, here's your question. I have a question, Julianne. Why, after I was so good to my Scorpio woman, she went silent for a week? I gave her space. That's good. Hopefully you weren't quiet during that whole week. I hope that like during that week that she was silent, you at least sent her one or two loving texts just to say, hey, I'm still here when you need me. You know, loving, genuine, concerned texts without like pressurizing her, because Scorpios, if you're completely quiet too, that's a no-go for Scorpio. They don't necessarily want to be chased, but they want to know that you care. And if you go silent too, then they're just like, okay, this guy's not for me. I'm just saying personally, that's how I am. Okay, so yeah. So I gave space, emotionally stable. Okay, so you stayed emotionally balanced, so that's good. I'm here when you're ready, text messages. Okay, so you did send her text messages and you did let her know, look, I'm here when you're ready type of thing. And then you waited. You probably should have sent her, if she was silent for a week, you should have sent her at least two, maybe even three non-pressurizing, non-chaotic, but loving, concerned text messages. Because Scorpios really need to know you care without going overboard, is what I'm trying to say. Okay. So I don't know if that makes sense. One message in a week's time, I would see that as kind of weak. Like you're just kind of like, I would almost see it as almost like you weren't emotionally invested in the relationship. And so if I'm gone for a week and you send me one text message, I'd be like, well, this guy doesn't really care about me. I'm just saying, okay, from a Scorpio woman's and a water sign's energy, that's how I see that. So I would say that if I went silent for a week, if I had gotten at least three loving, very, of course, emotionally grounded, stable messages from the person that I was distancing myself from, I would feel like, okay, this person actually is invested. This person is actually emotionally invested and they really are concerned about my well-being and you know what I might be getting up to, and concerned about the relationship in general. So okay, so I'm gonna read the next part here that you wrote. So you say, then she comes back in full breakup. It's over. Don't call or text me, but she hasn't blocked me. Why? So that's because, I mean, I don't know how many messages you sent her, and I don't know all the other, I don't know, like on her end, if she felt like you wronged her in some sort of way. If you betrayed her in some sort of way, whether it was emotional betrayal. I don't know any of the details. So if that's really, I can't answer that honestly. But if she feels like you emotionally were disloyal in any sort of way, and I'm saying emotionally disloyal or physically disloyal, you backstabbed her, you slighted her, disrespected her, basically if you just you betrayed her or being disloyal, or you've lied to her, that sort of thing, which is all pretty much in the same category. She's already assuming that you know what you did wrong. Okay, so that's, oh my gosh, my battery's, you better not die on me. Okay, so unless I know all of what has happened in your relationship, like what you've done and said and what she's done and said, I couldn't honestly answer that. I can just say that, like, if she did go quiet for a week, it was probably for a really good reason. As I would say 9 times out of 10, a Scorpio woman or man is not going to go silent just for the sheer fun of it. Okay. Yes, it could be a test. If a Scorpio does go silent and it's in the very beginning stages, they might go silent just to test you, to see if you actually really do like them, or if you're just like like them as a friend or whatever, if it's a shallow type of interest. Because like the lower vibrating Scorpios, and you might be dealing with a lower vibrating Scorpio woman, are going to test you. They're going to test the heck out of you. They're going to test you, then they're going to sting you when you don't pass their tests as they think that you should, in a way that they believe you should. I know this because I used to do this constantly, my lower vibrating years. Okay. I used to test the heck out of people. And a lot of the times when I was testing people, potential lovers and that sort of thing, and even family members, I was doing it unconsciously. It was just part of my nature, but I didn't like it. I didn't understand it, but once I understood it, it was completely different. Then I made it a conscious effort to be like, no, we need to transform and level up here and not be like stinging people. So, but if you are dealing with a low vibrating Scorpio, yeah, she could totally be testing you. I don't know how long, you'd have to tell me, like how long you've been involved with a Scorpio woman. Like, is this the beginning stages of a relationship? Oh, sure. I'm just making sure my battery, it was pulled out, you guys, and it was saying it was going to shut down on me. So I'm making sure that there isn't some funny business going on down below here. So yeah, I think, yeah, okay, it's good. It's green now, you guys. It's like, if this goes black on me in the middle of answering a question, I'm like, oh no. So Gary, I hope that I adequately answered that question. You're more than welcome to contact me or do a sign up form. I have a Google sign up form. You can sign up there, or you can contact me via my email, and we can go from there, and we can go deeper if you need more like one-on-one coaching and that sort of thing. I'm more than happy to help you. But like with not having all the details and all that, it's really hard to answer. I can only tell you all this out there wanting to know that Scorpios, one, especially when they're low vibrating, they will test you, most definitely. Even if you've been in a relationship for a long time with them, they still will test you throughout the relationship to make sure you're still emotionally invested in the relationship. So I really do hope that you did text her more than once during that week. I'd say 3 times would be good. Even just a short, sweet, genuine, sweet message once a day would have probably been great, as long as there was no pressure in it and no chaos, no emotional chaos in it. It was just genuine. I think that if this woman actually is emotionally invested, she would have been just fine with a non-chaotic, genuine, loving text. As long as you kept it short, sweet, and genuine and to the point without pressure, she would have loved that. I'm just saying, okay? It's not, believe me, you're not chasing her. You're just checking in with her and saying, look, I'm still here. I care. I'm emotionally invested. That's why I'm checking in with you every day. Okay. And if you don't feel that that's comfortable for you to do, maybe every other day, check in with her. Okay. So yeah, you don't want to lower your boundaries either. Okay. And go overboard. If that feels too much for you to do, then don't do it, because you don't want to go against what feels right for you, because it's your life too. Okay. I know to a lot of people, when Scorpios do their little tests and their disappearing tests and that sort of thing, it can feel like they're playing games. But you have to understand that Scorpios most of the time are doing it unconsciously. Sometimes it is calculated, of course. If a Scorpio is self-aware and they know what they're doing, then yeah, you can say it's calculating. It's not games though, because they want to know if you're emotionally invested like they are. They don't want to go any further with a relationship if you are not as emotionally invested into the relationship like they are, because when they are emotionally invested, they're 110% emotionally invested. They give everything. They're completely devoted and attentive and loyal, those sorts of things. They need to know that you are there with them, okay, at that same level, and that you want to have that soul connection with them. So anyways, I hope that I answered that. Like, you can let me know. So we have Stacy. Okay, so Stacy has a question. Oh no, where'd you go, Stacy? I just saw your question and then the chat moved. I'm like, no, Stacy, where are you? Okay, you must be up here. With the universe always testing us, we tend to test people just to make sure unconsciously. Yeah, well, I mean, a lot of times, unless you are a very self-aware, all-aware person, these are natural Scorpion traits. Okay, so, okay, so Gary is saying, I did not betray her, not emotionally or physically, disloyal. She's going through a lot of stress. We did have a big stormy fight a week before, and I do think she's unevolved and low vibrating. Oh, okay, so yeah. Well, that says it all right there. If she has not evolved and transformed, then that says a lot right there about how she handles emotional chaos and how she handles stress in her life and that sort of thing. So yeah. And where, okay, so, okay, here it is. Stacy has a question. Okay, my girlfriend was a Cancer till she backstabbed me, but she was cool till that happened. She was a Cancer girlfriend. Okay. And you are a Scorpio and she was a Cancer. Okay. So I can speak personally on this too. If a Cancer backstabs you, and of course, and you perceive it that way, obviously, and that's your right to perceive it that way. Also, with Cancer signs are very much like Scorpios. They're not just going to go out there and just randomly backstab you or cheat on you. They're so emotionally invested too, like a Scorpio. Okay, they get very emotionally invested in a relationship, just like Scorpios, just a little bit different type of. It's deep, but it's a different type of deepness. What's going on with my computer here? So I'm not trying to say that what she did was right. I'm not saying that. I'm not trying to, say that what she, like I'm not making excuses for her, but I'm just saying, I'm saying this just so you could have a better understanding of water signs in general, especially Cancers and Scorpios. Pisces is completely different because they're mutable. They're completely different, like completely different. So yeah, with Cancers, they're also a sign that they're just not going to go out there and betray someone just for the heck of it. There's usually a good reason why they do it too, just like with Scorpios. Unless, of course, she's a very, very, very low vibrating Cancer. Therefore, and again, I don't know the circumstances. I don't know the details surrounding your relationships with each other, but I'm just saying, like on a general, I'm trying to be just very basic here. They're probably in her mind, there was a reason why she backstabs you. She might have really believed in her mind, okay, this is hypothetically speaking, in her mind that you already betrayed her, because Cancers are very similar to Scorpios in that way. Okay, so anyways, all the betrayal stuff, yeah. Usually there is a vacuum in a relationship. There's something going on there, emotionally, physically going on there. Of course, I'm not in your relationship. I have no idea what's going on there, but usually there's something going on there that would make a Scorpio or a Cancer like backstab you, or because I have to say Scorpios, I'm sorry, Cancers, especially Cancer women, are very vengeful. So if she felt like you had already done something that hurt her deeply and emotionally speaking, it might have been her way of getting back. Cancers are very vengeful. I hate to say it, you guys, they are very vengeful. Yeah. But like I said, I'm not trying to say that what she did is right. I don't believe that's the right way to deal with someone that has wronged you. If she was an evolved Cancer, she would probably have just dealt with it in a completely different manner, a lot more mature manner is what I'm trying to say. You guys, I'm fixing my, oh my goodness, I don't know what's going on. It's between my computer battery when it died and then my, my camera. Yeah, because I'm moving my hands too much, you guys. And it literally goes from like staying still to like motion tracking me. That's crazy. Darn camera. I love these questions, you guys. This is awesome. I really do hope that I'm able to shed a little bit of light on what might be going on with your Cancers and Scorpios. I'm very, very, very familiar with water signs and how they deal with betrayals and deal with emotional pain. Oh, let's see here. Let's see if we have any more questions. I appreciate you guys also putting them in caps. I do appreciate that so much. You have no idea. It does make this so much easier for me to spot your questions. And so we've got, Gary says, I actually did send her 2 messages. I was emotionally invested. It's a careful balance. Yeah, I agree with you with the balance. Like I said, I don't want any of you doing more than what you think is necessary. You want to keep it balanced. And like, again, I don't know, unless you email me and give me specifics and you're honest about the specifics, I can't really help you as deeply as I would like to, unless I know all the details of what's going on, you know, because I know that people, now I know that people can lash out at you and do things to you that someone else had done to them. And, you know, but again, I have to know like all of the background. I have to know everything that's going on. I would have to know her childhood. I would have to know the relationship she's been in. And that would give me a so much better indication of why she's behaving she is. But overall, though, let's just make it simple. I want to make this simple for you. If someone is vibrating low, they haven't dealt with their unchecked trauma. That means, in simple layman's terms, a person has not dug deep into their unconscious memories. They have not gone there. They haven't done the work. And if you have not gone deep into your unconscious memories and traumas and dealt with that crap that's going on in there, then a person is just going to keep replaying the same old story. And if it's you, Gary, and then okay, you're getting all of that right now. Okay, so but if she was to leave you and get into another relationship without still checking her unchecked baggage, her unchecked unconscious traumatic memories, she is going to still take all of that into her next relationship, and the same loop is going to keep replaying. It's literally just a movie playing on a loop, you know, and it's like a hamster in a wheel, just going around and going nowhere, just repeating the same old bad habits, the same old pattern. It's like the same old pattern over and over. That's why the unconscious mind needs to be dealt with first, because the unconscious mind rules your world and you don't even know it because you haven't taken time to see what's going on there. So you need to bring the unconscious trauma and memories to the conscious mind and check it. Okay, deal with it, face it. And obviously, if someone is vibrating low, no matter what zodiac sign you are, they're just going to keep repeating all of that garbage with you and into whatever relationships they have. Okay, it could be even co-workers at work. They're going to and their family members. It's all that garbage is just going to keep replaying on repeat, on repeat, on repeat until they check their baggage. That's the simplest way I can explain that. You can't transform and transcend your former self unless you do the dirty work. Get your hands a little dirty. I know, you guys, get some gloves on if you're really worried about checking your unconscious memories. It needs to be done. Otherwise, you're going to stay stagnant. You're going to stay a zombie, and you're just going to repeat the old bad habits and patterns over and over and over again. And then, like a lot of Cancers and Pisces signs, oh my gosh, woe is me, I'm the victim, blah, blah, blah. No, you're not. You just choose not to check your trauma, okay? So anyways, don't be playing victim. That's another ick for Scorpios. Oh, that is a huge turnoff for me. And as much as I understand Cancers and water signs, Cancers and especially Pisces are the worst at playing the victim card, and that is a huge turnoff. I'm just saying. I just had to say it, you guys. So, do we have any other questions here? Let me see here. So Stacy says, with the universe always testing us, we tend to test people just to make sure unconsciously. Yeah, I read that one. Okay, so I did cover that one. Lancelot, where are you? Love letter, handwritten, shows investment. Yeah, I love that. Absolutely. That would work so well with a Scorpio, especially if it's handwritten, because now you really are taking the time. You're not cheating by using one of these. You're actually taking time, your valuable time, getting a piece of paper. You guys forgot what paper looks like. Get a piece of, a pen, and actually write a love letter. Oh, that is the best. That's the best, Lancelot. That's perfect. So Gary says, I understand there's always like a cyclical type things. I texted her a genuine, non-pressurized, but what can I do? I care. I do. She's broken up with me before and then returns, and we repair. I'm surprised. Okay, so, and she's a she's a is she a Cancer? No, wait. You're a Cancer, she's a Scorpio, right? Okay, I'm getting you mixed up with Stacy. I'm getting you guys mixed up. I'm sorry. You have to forgive me ahead of time. I'm trying to keep all of you and your stories straight and who is who. And so we got Farminator. Oh, Farminator, where are you now? Let's see here. Here we go. Here's Farminator. Farminator says, you don't need to test people. Scorpios, people will easily reveal themselves. They can't help but drop the mask sometimes. Just some advice from a Pisces. Thank you, Farminator. Yes, some Scorpios do drop the mask once in a while. I have to say, yes, absolutely, for sure. And, I agree with you. Scorpios don't need to test people. It's just part of who they are. It's part of their blueprint. And when they are not evolved and they're carrying around a lot of unconscious drama and trauma and wounds in their unconscious memory bag, they're definitely going to test the heck out of people. And it's part of their nature. That doesn't mean they can't evolve and learn to not do that anymore. And transcend all of that, because that is what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to transform. That's part of the Scorpio nature also. And Scorpios don't have a problem facing their darkness, but it is an actual trait, a very hardcore trait, a blueprint trait of Scorpios, that they test people because they feel things emotionally, and they emotionally invest super deep on a soul level. When they love someone, when they devote themselves to someone, they are putting their whole entire soul and everything else into that person and relationship. So it is a big deal. And so sometimes they do have these little tests and stuff, but it's not games to a Scorpio. It is like, are you worthy of what I have to offer? Are you worthy of the emotional and energetic love and devotion that I have to put into you. And I can see and understand all of that. Okay, so, and you guys, it's not games. Let's see here. But I do appreciate, I love your feedback, Farm Leader. You're so true about them dropping their masks sometimes. They actually do. Yeah. And I'm sure you've dealt with plenty of Scorpios. Scorpio Mama, it take too long for folks to reveal for me. Right. Yeah. I have to, I relate to that. Let's see, modern. Okay, so Gary says, yes, Julianne, thank you. So what should I do now? That's the thing. I'm stuck. She may be testing me like before. Yeah, I'm sure she is, especially if she's not evolved. And we've established that she's not, because she wouldn't be playing. I wouldn't say playing this game. She wouldn't be testing you. She wouldn't be going silent. She would just be direct. Okay, because an evolved Scorpio who's literally transformed are just going to literally be direct with you. They're not going to be hiding anymore. They're not going to be beating around the bush anymore. They're just going to say, look, this is how I feel. This is what I need. This is what I want. They'll be direct. They're not going to do the silent treatments anymore. So yeah, she's definitely going to be still testing you. And you have to be honest with yourself, Gary. You have to say, look, do I really want to have a relationship where I'm waiting around while someone else may or may not ever get their shit together? Is it worth you giving so much of your energies or just sitting around waiting? Is it worth it to you? Does this woman actually add a lot of value to your life? As she is, as a person she is now, as who she's being now. You can't go on what if she transforms? What if she does evolve and mature? You can't go on that. You have to go on what is sitting in front of you right now in the present moment. What is she giving you? Is she adding value to your life in any sort of way? Or is she stealing energy from you? That is a very valuable, honest question you should be asking yourself. And I know that's a hard question to ask yourself. And believe me, I've had to ask myself these things too. When you are emotionally invested in a relationship, it's the hardest thing to have to ask yourself is it worth it? Is this person worth it? Are they sucking my energy dry and I'm getting nothing in return? Do you like the silent treatments back and forth? You have to ask yourself, because it's your life just as much as she has her life. Okay, you have your life. You have to live with yourself and wake up with yourself. And if she's not adding value to your life, adding life to your life and elevating your life, then maybe you need to look at yourself a little closer, because if you value yourself highly and you honor yourself first and you love yourself first, I'm sorry to say this, and I'm going to be brutally honest here, you guys, but self-love is number one, should be number one. If you don't have love for yourself, then you're letting anybody come into your life and wreak havoc in your life and steal your precious energies. When you have self-love and you have strong, healthy boundaries and you think very highly of yourself, it means you have honor for your life. You have honor for your life, thus you have honor for others' lives. Okay? You have to have honor for yourself. You have to say, look, I am not willing to let this person come in, no matter what zodiac sign they are, okay, and steal my precious energies from me. And not, because a relationship, a very healthy relationship, it's not just give and take. It's both people giving. It's two people moving towards each other and giving. Both people giving 100%, not 50-50. You scratch that, throw that out, okay? It's 100 and 100. Is she giving you 100? So anyways, it starts with us, because if we love ourselves, we won't allow people like that into our lives. We can try to advise them and help them but without depleting our own vital energies. Okay. Just set very healthy boundaries for yourself, and ask yourself those hard questions. It starts with us first, because if we aren't loving ourselves the way we should, and we don't value ourselves the way we should, then look at the relationships you have. Look at the people that you've allowed to take up residency in your space. Rent free, mind you. Rent free. Okay. Just being honest, you guys. I know I go a little deep, but I can't help that. I know I have to be honest. I have to, I'm not going to sugarcoat this for you guys. I love you guys too much to just be like, oh, it's okay. Don't worry. Just let the Scorpio, come and go as they please. Let them do as they want. Let them walk all over you. No. As much as I love Scorpios, I love no. You have to have self-love first. Know thyself and love yourself, period. And you won't have driftwood coming in your life, stealing your precious resources. You want someone who's going to add value to your life, not take from your life. So I tell people, check yourself first. And then you'll see why this other person that you're complaining about, or this other person that's hurting you, is even in your life to begin with. So, seriously, a lot of people are afraid to look at themselves first. They're afraid. They're like, no, I'm fine. I'm good. I'm okay. No, you're not, because this person's in your life. And if you had self-love and honor for yourself, you would not, unless you start charging them rent. Start charging them $1,000 to take up residency in your sacred sanctum. Okay. You'll still probably want to boot them out, because the chaos is too much, the up and down and chaotic, the tumultuous type of chaotic emotions in life that it breeds. Even if you do charge them rent, it won't be worth it to you. Honestly, it won't. In the long term, you'll be like, dang, why did I give them so much of my time? Gotta love yourself first, guys. Gotta love yourself first. Let's see here. Okay, so Stacy says she was operating low vibe. Yeah, I would have to totally agree with that 100% from just a little bit that you've expressed here. She was low vibrating. We got water barrier. Haha, yes, they are vengeful. I know you're talking about the Cancers. My mom is a Cancer and took revenge on her cheating ex, not by cheating, but by shaming them throughout their families and neighborhoods. There you go. That's vengeful right there. She didn't have to cheat back to get her revenge. Seriously, that's how Cancers are. Yeah, that was a perfect example of how Cancers are. Yeah, totally. You know what? My mom has Cancer moon sign, Pisces sun, and she was trying to take revenge on my ex-husband by trying to expose him in the military and everything, because she felt like he had done me wrong. He was cheating on me, and he was bisexual and that sort of thing. And she felt like she had to take everything into her hands. So she would call up my ex-husband's company commander in the Army. And she's like, oh, I am, so-and-so's mother and mother-in-law. And so, and I just, you need to be, he likes men and he's gay. And, she was just saying all this garbage about him. And, my ex wasn't gay. He just liked everything, like males, females, and in between. But basically he identified later on as a bisexual. So anyways, but she was saying, oh, he's gay. He only likes men. And so she got him in a lot of trouble. And that was something I was pissed at her for doing, because she did it behind my back. She didn't even ask me if it was okay. And so, yeah, she thought she was going to get revenge for me because he was cheating and stuff on me. And I'm like, no, Mom, I can handle this plenty. Believe me, I know how to handle somebody who's cheating on me. I don't need your involvement. So yeah, then I ended up having to divorce my mom for the 10th time. Anyway, so yeah, Cancers are definitely, they'll get revenge for themselves and everyone else that they care about. So yeah, even if you didn't give them permission to get revenge for you, they'll get revenge for you. So Gary says, I understand, and I do have a lot, and I mean a lot of background, hers and mine. There is trauma from abandonment, so it is a challenge, but I am patient. Evolved, I think. Thank you, Julianne. You're very welcome. So I'm glad that you have patience and that you think that she's worth it to stick it out. And I do wish you all the best with her, but I am here if you do need me and need additional coaching or assistance. I do offer one-on-one coaching. Just putting it out there. I have had people come, reach out to me, reach out to me. And actually, I've had at least 3 separate individuals, and they were all females, saying the same thing about Scorpio men that they were involved with. So I've assisted Scorpio women, and I've also assisted Pisces men. So, anyways, Ralph Smalley, you can take a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. Exactly. Gary says, go deep. Don't sugarcoat it. It's true. Self-love. I agree. I have some more thinking to do with time. Yeah, exactly. And you don't have to make a decision overnight, but definitely start with yourself first, because your relationships are a reflection of what's going on in your unconscious world. And so until you take a look at what's going on in your unconscious world, you're not going to understand why this person's even in your life. So, but yeah, once you start understanding yourself on a very deep, intimate level, and you take care of your traumas first, and then you start accepting yourself and loving yourself, then everything else will fall in place according to how you feel about yourself. So I would have to say that there's something going on inside of you in order to attract someone like that that's not evolved, because, you might want, we like to think that we are evolved or evolving, of course. And yeah, we should be evolving. That doesn't mean we are. So thinking and actually evolving is 2 different things. But I like to put that out there because I really hate seeing people in toxic relationships. There's nothing good that comes from toxic relationships. There's just nothing good that comes from it. I haven't seen it yet. Maybe you guys have experienced 2 toxic people evolving and making a change, and it probably does happen. It's just not common. So I'm going to have to jump off here soon, you guys, but as my throat is starting to close shop, I think I have a Scorpio throat. It's literally shutting down on me. It's going silent. It's saying we can't do this anymore. I'm going to check again for, okay, so Stacy says, thanks, beautiful. Yeah, you're most welcome. It's my pleasure, you guys. It gives me a lot of pleasure to assist you guys and help you guys. It really does. I think, honestly, to be very brutally honest with you guys, if I had no outlet and no way of helping either mankind is different than humans. If I had no way of helping humans and like even animals and that sort of thing, I had no outlet or no way to help assist people and bring them up with me, I would feel so empty. Honestly, I would feel so empty. I'd feel worthless. I would feel, even not worthless, I would feel like, what's the point? Because I think that once we do evolve and transform, we are supposed to, it's our duty to bring others up with us. If they can't evolve up with us, then they have to go at their own pace. Okay. We have to let people go at their own pace. But it's our duty to help, assist, and bring people up with us. When we spiritually evolved, we need to bring people up with us. Scorpios are great at being great spiritual leaders. Just putting that out there. When when Scorpios literally evolve and transform, they are like angelic spiritual leaders, and they love to bring people up with them. Okay, so do Leos, by the way. Just putting it out there. Bob Smiley says, my mom still hasn't signed the divorce papers. Revenge is a dish best served cold. Yeah. Yeah. And Rob Smiley, I actually had to learn that because, oh my gosh. Yeah. I wanted to sting the heck out of people that betrayed me and cheated and lied and stuff. And then I figured out that once I served up my revenge cold, oh my gosh, Hades did a much better job at serving up revenge, way better than I could ever even think of, like seriously. I mean, I've had people even threaten to kill me, and that person ended up dead like 6 months later. So, I mean, I'm like, and I didn't have to lift a finger. I didn't have to say anything. I didn't have to do anything. I didn't even send bad energies to that person. I just told them and looked them in the eye. I said, you can't kill me. I can't even kill me. And I walked away from that person forever. They ended up dead 6 months later. I didn't have to lift a finger. So, it is so much better if you just let Hades take care of business for you. It's always so much cleaner. It's better for you. You don't have to go worry about going to jail. You don't have to worry about anything coming back on you. Just look at somebody with a pure heart and say, look, you can't kill me. You can't do anything to me. Sorry, bye. See you later. Door is shut. Let Hades take care of business. It's sweet revenge when you let Hades take care of business for you. You don't have to get your hands dirty at all. So I agree with you 100% with that. And that was actually a lesson I had to learn in my late 20s. And believe me, I learned that lesson. Yeah. And no, I've never been to jail, you guys. So I have done crazy things, but not enough to go to jail. But yeah, anyways, I could have gone to jail though a couple times, but I didn't. But that was when I was so much younger, you guys. Okay. I was a completely different person, but I've never done anything like, I've never done anything like that, but like, my goodness. I had thoughts though. So Stacy says, you've nailed a lot here. Thank you. I appreciate that. I understand myself more. Yay. I'm so glad. And that is one of the biggest reasons why I do this. It's one of the biggest reasons, as I want everyone to understand themselves at a much deeper level. Especially Scorpios seem to be the most concerned about themselves, the most fascinated about themselves. But you know what? This leads me into what tomorrow's live is going to be, because I'm going to be checking out of here real soon, you guys. But tomorrow is not only do Scorpios obsess about themselves, guess what? Everyone else obsess over you too. And we're going to talk about that tomorrow in tomorrow's live. Why the heck does everyone, including Scorpios themselves, obsess over Scorpios? We're literally going to uncheck that bag tomorrow, and I'm excited about it. It's like I'm always excited about my live videos because I'm shedding a light on some areas that have been kept in the dark or misrepresented by other YouTubers out there. And I try not to let anything bother me. I just observe. I'm like an observer now. I'm all aware, and I just observe and sit back and observe. But I tell you what, it does kind of disappoint me greatly that so many people misrepresent Scorpios. It just, whatever. So yeah, we're going to do that tomorrow. We got concerned in the house. Drink some orange juice and hang in there. Oh, you guys, what? Look, I drank all my orange juice, you guys. It's all gone. But don't despair. I have some water nearby. Yeah, I'm trying to hang in there because I really want to answer your important questions. That's the whole point of going live, is so I can literally be here. You can see me and be like, okay, I've got this question. I've been wanting to ask this question about Scorpios or about whatever, and or about any sign. You can ask me a question about any sign. I know all the signs really well, but I know water signs probably a lot better than all the other signs put together, just because I have a ton of water in my big three. So Um, so Stacy, you had a similar story too. Okay. I would love to hear your story. Concern says, okay, Joy says, I love the live, Julianne, in the comment section. Enjoy the rest of your day, everyone. Oh, thank you. I appreciate you, Joy, for being here. You rock. You're awesome. I look forward to seeing you again, Joy. And you know what? Have a wonderful evening too, okay? Because you guys owe it to yourselves to be good to yourself and take care of yourselves. Dave Cavity. Okay, so Joy says, okay. Okay, see you tomorrow, Stacy. I will definitely look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Have a great, great evening. Let's see here. Yeah, I'm about ready to jump off, you guys. I don't see any more questions, but I actually am so grateful for all of you being here. If it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't be here. You guys are the best YouTube audience and family that I could possibly ask for. And one of these days I will get my booty into gear and get connected with a better and more just a better, I would say, company where I can get t-shirts and like mugs and that sort of thing. I already have my designs laid out and everything I want to say, like for the screen t-shirts and stuff like that. Right now I'm just wearing, this is one I bought, but this is not like for my channel. But like I would definitely want to get some t-shirts, but that's going to be down the road. But I'm already in the process of getting some of those designs made. Concern is, are the vibes really, really strange today for anyone else? Huh. You know what? I had to say, like early on today, Concerned, the vibes felt a little off for me. But like right now, since the sun has come out, everything feels pretty good. But there is days where I totally feel like in the atmosphere and environment, like the vibes are just really nefarious. You know, it's anyways, but yeah, I'm sorry that you're having a day like that. It does happen to me too. So yeah, don't feel alone. Sent, Stacey says, sent UNC alert for 440 joules. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, I actually just saw that just pop up. Thank you so much. You are awesome. I really do appreciate your support because that actually is what helps keep my channel going. And it also encourages me to just keep going because, you know, it's a really good sign when I get your support. So I really do appreciate you guys. Oh, I see the bird. Thank you so much. You're awesome. Yay. Thank you. You guys are awesome. Okay, so Gary says, I really appreciate your answers and advice, and hopefully my Scorpio situation can help others in some way. Yeah, absolutely. That's why I encourage you guys to share your stories and stuff, because maybe there's something that others can answer too, or at least, you know, give you their experiences too. I think that's great. We all learn from each other, but honestly, you guys, apart from like zodiac signs, it all starts with ourselves. We need to look in the mirror more often and examine ourselves on a deep level. And I know, like a lot of you, run from your shadows. Scorpios, not so much. Scorpios will face the darkness and their shadows and their shadow sides, usually more often than not. You know, Scorpios are born in the darkness. They're used to it. So, yeah, that's where it starts. Once we get our doorstep all cleaned up and tidy, and we get our soul all cleaned up and tidy, and we get rid of the garbage and, you know, anything that literally attaches itself to us that's draining our soul energies, we need to remove and pluck all of anything that is attaching itself to us, that's draining our life force. Your life force is precious, okay? I think the reason why I don't age like everyone else is because I literally stay on that game and I pluck people from my life that are like energy vampires. I pluck them, get rid of them. whether it's a person, place, or thing, and it's, or even a food or a drink or anything that's literally sucking my energies. I have to pluck it from my life. I have to eliminate it. I have to get rid of it. And I keep a very positive mind. I have a very progressive mind. I live in the present moment, but I also have huge dreams, and all my dreams always come true. So I haven't had anything not come true or come to fruition. But you have to start with your heart and your soul and your mind and clean it all up, you guys. Accept yourself, love yourselves, honor your life, value. Do you guys even know what the word honor means? I'm going to tell you right now. The word honor means to value, to attach high value to something or someone. Okay. And for example, like there's a violin out there that is made by Stradivarius. Okay, so this old violin is worth $1 million. Now just imagine yourself, if you will, holding that $1 million Stradivarius violin in your arms, in your hands. Okay, you're probably going to be very careful with it and not to drop it. Okay, because it's worth $1 million. So you're going to hold it really carefully. It's almost like holding a brand new baby who's just been born, and you're so delicate. Okay, so this baby, you worship babies, right? We put them above us, right? When we hold them above us, because we attach high value to babies or anything that's expensive. Well, you have to do that to your own lives. Attach high value to your own lives. You were once a baby too, and your parents held you up high above their shoulders, held you up high to the heavens. You've been admonished when you're a baby. So babies or anything that's high value, you handle it different, right? You don't want to drop that baby. You don't want to drop that $1 million Stradivarius violin. You're just going to carefully hold it and handle it and love it and take care of it and nourish it, and you don't want to drop it. Okay. So you're very, very concerned about how you literally hold it and touch it and all that sort of thing. So you attach high value to yourself. Okay. That is the beginning. That's where everything starts. Okay. When you start attaching high value to yourself and clean up your doorstep, clean up your soul, clean up your heart, clean it all up. That is the beginning stages of transforming your spiritual life and evolving. Okay. And you need to examine yourself on a daily basis. I mean, sit with yourself, meditate, whatever it is, pray if you're religious. I don't care what you do or what you call it, because it's all the same thing. It's all the same thing. Take time for yourself. Examine your soul. Examine what it is you really want. And then, it all starts with yourself. Okay, so when you really, really, really know yourself really, really deeply, you will know that, like, if this other person comes into your life, the energies that they're trying to bring into your life, you're like, no, I don't accept this, because I know myself. I know what I want in my life, and I know what I don't want in my life. And this person is trying to bring a whole lot of, shitty, negative, low vibrating energy. And they literally are energy vampires trying to suck all my life force out of me. You'll say no, you'll shut it down so fast. Their head will be spinning and going, and they'll be running the other direction. They won't even be able to handle your high vibrations. They'll be like, I'm not ready for this. And they'll leave. So yeah, it starts with you. Okay. No matter what sign you are, period. And I just want to put that out for you guys. So one of these days, you know what? Because I did start my channel off, the very beginning, my very first videos, I did start with how to manifest your dream life, whether it's how to manifest your soulmate, or how to manifest a lot of money if you want to be rich and wealthy and that sort of thing, or how to manifest pretty much anything. Okay. I started my channel on manifesting, and then I went, you know what? I have a love for astrology and I have experience in this. So let me just go ahead and add that too, to the niche. So I probably will eventually do another live stream on self-love and honor and manifesting, and kind of lump it all in together, kind of like do like a beginner's live stream. I'm not sure why this keeps coming undone, but man, it's a messing up the light here. I think something's weighing on it. Yeah, I keep saying I'm going to jump off here and then I keep prattling on, you guys. But I appreciate you all for hanging out with me. You guys are the best ever. Yeah, Dave, thank you so much for the reminder. I appreciate you. Yeah, hit that like button if you don't mind. It doesn't cost you anything, but it actually helps my channel get out there to people who are seeking out this sort of information. Let's see here. I appreciate you, Dave, for that. Gary says, beautifully said, examine starts here in the heart. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Rob Smiley says, Hades is the best, all fire and brimstone. Yes. Yeah. I have to agree with you. Rob Smiley, my enemies have also kicked the bucket after wishing death on me. I like our scorpionic similarities, my intuitive reader. Yeah, exactly. It was actually a prince that I was engaged to. And I was living with him in Wales, and he didn't like the fact that he was doing some shady stuff that I didn't know about until I was there in person, and I saw some shady stuff that he was doing. And I was like, this is not going to work for me. I don't care if you're a prince or not. I don't care. I don't care what your status is. You're shady, and I'm leaving. And then he threatened me because he didn't want me to leave. He wanted to keep me there and marry me and that sort of thing. And I said, no way, Jose. And so, yeah, he literally threatened that I would die because I'm leaving him. And I just looked him straight in the eyes with my Scorpio, stare. And I said, you can't kill me. I can't even kill me. So good luck with that. Bye. Yeah, he ended up dead like 6 months later. He had he was 53 at the time, and I was like 37, and like he had a massive heart attack, just doing dishes in his kitchen. So yeah, anyways, but I'm still really good friends with his daughter. So let's see here. Concern says we're just spirits in the material world. Yeah, definitely. And everything starts in our spiritual life. Gary says, that's a crazy story. Yeah, it's actually a true story. I actually talk about it in one of my first videos. It wasn't my first videos, but it was like probably a year and a half ago, where I was talking about the dragon bloodlines and that sort of thing. The dragon, ancient Viking bloodlines, and all that sort of thing. So I talked about my personal story in that video. And I think I've only done one video on maybe I've done 2 videos on the dragon bloodline. And the Vikings and all that sort of thing. And witches and stuff. So like I tie it all in together. But anyways, yeah, I have a lot of crazy stories, you guys. I've lived like 20 lifetimes in a very short amount of time. Let's see here. Concerned. Aha, that's exactly right. The weather here is so bizarre. Lots of rolling thunder and rain. And you mentioned the sunshine. Yeah, because it was dark and cloudy. And that's when I was feeling like a nefarious type of energies. Like even the sky looked nefarious. Like the energy felt nefarious. Felt like doom and gloom type energy. And then once the sun comes out, like all that doom and gloom energy, like gets flooded out with the sun, gets pushed aside. So everything's cool. It's just such a weird, yeah. And I do feel it too. There's definitely days where I totally feel it. Lanceloff says, concern today feels like yeah. Okay, so Lanceloff is chiming in. Rob Smiley says they need spiritual training wheels. Yeah, let's see her. We got Alpha, the first one. Hello, Alpha, the first one. How are you doing? Okay, so I'm a Leo man, the king of the zodiac. Oh, yes, you are. I will not deny you that title. And I don't know what to think. But today, oh, wait, I'm sorry. I'm reading someone else's. Let's go back to you, Alpha, the first one. I'm a Leo man, the king of the zodiac. Most people prefer Scorpio over Leo because we are the worst ones. because Leos are the worst ones of the zodiac? Seriously? I have to tell you this. I want you to know I have a stellium of Scorpio in my natal birth chart, but I also have like very powerful dominant star placements in Leo. So basically what I tell people is the lion and the scorpion is always vying for supremacy in my brain and in my emotions. So I understand what you're saying because I have a ton of Leo energy. And yeah, and there's a lot of similarities. You can chime in on this, everyone out there, including Alpha, the first one. Like there is some similarities between Leo energy and Scorpio energy because both of these signs are big on respect. They're big on loyalty. They're big on a lot of similar things. I just have to say right there. But I would have to say, first and foremost, Leos and Scorpios, you need to be loyal and respectful, period. Okay. So maybe Scorpios don't need a ton of the limelight energy from their loved ones as much as a Leo does, but Scorpios do need attention, the right kind of attention from the people they love. But I wouldn't say that Leos are the worst. Actually, I don't hear that often that Leos are the worst ones. I would have to say that I hear more that like Aquarius, Geminis might be more of the signs that people complain about the most. People are more freaked out and obsessed over Scorpio signs because they're very powerful, but Leos are right there with them. And I actually did, I've done some kind of like fun type of comparison videos, where like I had a video I did that was about like the top 3 most dangerous zodiac signs. And of course, Scorpio, Aries, and Leo were the top 3 there. So yeah, there's some similarities. I do actually know quite a few Scorpios that marry Leos. So yeah, but I have to see the whole sign. But I appreciate you chiming in. It's great to see new people show up in the chat. I love it. So Concern says, I just have questions about all this stuff, and I don't know what to think, but today I don't think I'm in the state of mind to communicate my issues clearly. Right. Okay. So you don't have to necessarily put them in the chat if you're not ready for that, but you can definitely reach out to me via email or go to my Google sign up form and sign up, and we can go from there. But if you do ever feel like you're ready to, I'm going live again tomorrow, honey. So we're going to be talking about why everyone is so darn obsessed with Scorpios. It's going to be fun. Scorpio mom says, I don't like Leos. Oh, no. Scorpio mama, you don't like Leos? I would have to say that, like, I love all zodiac signs, but low vibrating zodiac signs, no matter what zodiac sign you are, you guys, okay? Because I'm not going to be biased here at all. But any sign that's vibrating low is going to be a pain in the butt to deal with. Even Scorpios who are vibrating low, like I vibrate super high, like on an angelic level now, that it's really hard for me. I can understand low vibrating Scorpios, but it's hard for me to really have a great bond with somebody who's still vibrating low. I can bring them up and try to bring them up to my level. But as far as like being close to somebody who's vibrating low, who's a Scorpio, it's just, it's like, no, I don't vibrate low anymore. So there's not going to be a closeness there. But anybody who's vibrating low is really going to be a pain in your backside, you guys. So, but I have met some very high vibrating Leos that are just like Scorpios. They're very angelic. They like to bring people up. They love to build people up. High vibrating Leos literally love to build people up. They love to build themselves up, but they love to build everyone else up too. Okay. And they will gladly share the limelight with you too. These are high vibrating Leos. So not all Leos and not all Scorpios are the same. So I might have had some difficulties with Leo women, but they were all low vibrating Leo women. And I mean, like really negative, low vibrating Leo women. And I was like, oh gosh, this does not work for me. I had to literally cut them out of my life immediately. I'm like, oh, I'm not going there. You know, I vibrate high, you're vibrating low, you got to go, period. End of discussion. So, and Scorpio Mama says, my energy is like gold. Yeah, keep it up, okay? You got to get that vibration up there high. Yeah. Scorpio Mama says they want all attention. And they do want attention, but I have to be honest here and straightforward. Leos, they want a lot of attention, okay? But they really mostly only want a ton of attention from the people that they care about and the people they love and the people they really, really like. Okay. So basically, for example, what I'm trying to say is like if a Leo is at a party, okay, this is like the easiest example I can give, but they're at that party with their best friend in the world. They're there with their girlfriend or wife, okay, someone they actually love, and they're around family that they care about. They're going to want all of those people's attention, like seriously, and their feelings will get all hurt if their girlfriend or spouse or whatever and family members aren't giving them the attention. They're giving it to somebody else. Oh, they'll have to figure out, like they'll get very creative if they have to. They'll start being outspoken, and making a scene like, hello, I'm here. The the spotlight needs to come over here with the band playing in the same. Yeah. So yeah, they tend, that's, now high vibrating Leo isn't going to be so demanding like that. But yeah. Concern says, I guess a hostile world makes people want to feel powerful or dangerous. Otherwise, I'm not sure why we're interested in that. Yeah, I talk about every angle when it comes to, because I want the truth to be out there, but I like to present every angle, the good, bad, and the ugly. And so yeah, there is zodiac signs that are definitely more dangerous, but there's also the angelic side of every zodiac sign too. And I want there to present the picture of both sides of every zodiac sign, not just the good or the neutral. I want everything to be exposed, because in that way people can have a much better understanding of each zodiac sign and their potential, whether they could be potentially bad and dark or potentially angelic. And like a lot of signs, a lot of YouTubers or so-called astrologists want to just skim the surface and keep everything like superficial on a very, surface level. But I like to present like the extreme opposites, the really, really dark side of signs and the really, really angelic signs or sides of signs. I don't like to just skim the surface and do neutral. I can do gray on some things, but when it comes to getting deep and exposing each sign, I want everyone to see every angle. So anyways, and it's human nature to be curious about the good, the bad, and the ugly, about everything. Well, I mean, it is in my nature, at least. I can only speak for myself. But there you go. That should be the threshold issue. Is the person vibrating in their higher light, or are they in their darkness? Exactly. Yes. Because like if people are vibrating in their low light, like you say, this is how dangerous they can be. But if they're vibrating high, this is how angelic they can be. So yeah. And I know I'm a broken record, but saying Leo or Scorpio is a misnomer. There's like 40,000 energies in a chart that make each individual so unique. Exactly. Yeah. And I agree with that. That's why when I talk about like being compatible with other signs, you have to compare your full natal birth chart with someone's full natal birth chart. And, and I am actually going to, I'm really hoping that I get all the slides done. I can talk about the synastry chart, so people can actually read their full natal birth chart, and they can read their partner's full natal birth chart, or whoever it is they're interested in, because it's all about synastry. And yeah, there's so many different like you said, energies. And people, and I like to stress that people get stuck. This is another thing that is just like, I've got to clear this up, is people get stuck on their sun sign, like that. They think that that's the sum of them. Like that's all that they are, is their sun sign. So if they're a Scorpio sun sign, they think, okay, I'm just Scorpio. That's it. That's all that's to me. But it's not true. So when you look at the whole natal, your whole natal birth chart, and you see your full natal blueprint, you're getting the full picture of yourself. And there's lots of energies playing there. But when I talk about my personal chart, because I know my chart intimately, I know what positions and aspects and houses and everything is very powerful and dominant. And I can feel those energies. That's why I say what I say, because I actually know my natal birth chart, and I am at liberty to say what kind of energies are coming through me. And, but yeah, I don't say, oh, I'm just my sun sign, because I'm not. And I know that what runs the show is my unconscious, is always going to be an unconscious memories, regardless of your natal birth chart. Whatever is going to be running the show is your emotions, and your emotions are based on your unconscious trauma. So, your natal birth chart is just a blueprint, and it can be totally modified. It's there to help you understand yourself, but then also modify it and transform and transcend, regardless of all the millions of energies that are in a natal birth chart. It's all about a blueprint. It's a tool to be used to help you understand yourself better. But people, I have to say, I used to be one of those people that used to say, well, I'm this sun sign, so this is all I am. This is who I am. And I didn't learn until I was in my, I would say, mid 20s, before I realized that there was your moon sign and your Venus sign and your rising sign. And I didn't know, and then the houses and all the other things that go into it. I just thought, okay, my sun sign, that's me. That's me in a nutshell. How boring is that, you guys, just to be your sun sign? But anyways, yeah, I get what you're saying, concerned. I totally am with you on that. And so when I ask people, what's your sign? Of course, they give me their sun sign first, and I'm like, okay, but no, I want to know your whole birth chart. I'm not, I don't, I mean, if someone tells me they're an Aquarius sun, but I don't see a lot of those traits in them and stuff, then I'm like, okay, I want to see your rising sign. I want to know your rising sign. Okay, I want to see your moon sign. I want to know your moon sign. That's going to tell me a lot. It's going to tell me a little bit more about who they are. I don't even know where that came from, you guys. That must have been someone else talking through me. Nothing creates low vibrational situations more than fear, right? And so a lot of people are just afraid of looking at themselves. Yeah. And they don't even want to go there. One can tell, Concern says, one can tell that you have a good heart. That's why the people here feel so comfortable in bringing up maybe sensitive issues. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Thank you so much for seeing that in me. Yeah, I have a very genuine, pure heart. And not only that, I can totally understand where people are coming from, when you have a lot of life experience, and I've gone through so many things myself. I've put myself through a lot of things. I'm able to totally relate. I can totally relate with most everybody. Not everybody. I can't relate to people who do heinous crimes. I can't relate to people who are cheaters and commit murder. I could understand someone who committed a crime in passion. I can understand that because I've had the same type of feelings going on in there when it happened to me. I wouldn't actually follow through with it, but I would have the same sort of I want to destroy this person type of thoughts, and I can understand crimes of passion. I can't understand premeditated. I can't understand a lot of things that people do that are just so nefarious. I'm just like, oh my God, like you're not even, you are not a human. You have been taken over by something else. But yeah, um, but there's just people that literally feed off of others' energies, whether they're aware of it or not, you know. Um, but anyways, you guys, you have made this day so awesome. And I appreciate like all the new people coming here. I just want to say welcome. You're always welcome here. This is a very loving, very accepting, non-biased platform. It doesn't matter what zodiac sign you guys are. I want to see you in the chat. I want to feel the high vibrations. You know, you can tell me your plights, your stories, your questions, of course. So, but yeah, it is always my pleasure, concern to do my best to shed light. Nothing brings me more pleasure and happiness than to know that others are benefiting from the knowledge and research and just personal experiences that I have. Yeah, just literally warms up my heart like nothing else. Seriously. Scorpio Mama says they want all attention. Yeah. Now a low vibrating Leo definitely wants to be in the limelight no matter where they're at or whatever. But you know what? They're usually so laid back and chill. A Leo will cause a scene though, like they have no problem causing a scene in public. That's the one thing I don't like about Leos, is if they're really vibrating low, it's like, oh my gosh, they'll turn a mountain into a molehill and make a whole production out of it in public. They'll embarrass themselves and everyone else. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and jump off here, you guys. I want to just say I love you guys very much, and I appreciate your support. You guys are awesome. You're the best. And I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow when we talk about why Scorpios are so, why everyone is so obsessed with Scorpios. And you know what? Why Scorpios are so obsessed with themselves. You're going to tell on yourselves tomorrow. All right, we're out of here, you guys. Have a wonderful evening, and thank you guys for being here. We're out of here. Cheerio.